Politics, America's Can Pompeo succeed where Tillerson failed? President Trump clearly favors unpredictability, instinct, and audacious and often reckless strokes in decision-making. The abrupt firing of Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, as he was concluding a fence-mending trip to Africa, is only the most recent example. But it may be one of his more fateful decisions. He unceremoniously dismissed Tillerson in a Twitter post on the eve of critical decisions on the Iran nuclear agreement and summit negotiations with North Korea, raising serious questions about the foreign policy decision-making process in the administration. Even as he was publicly embracing chaos, contending that he seeks contrary views, he named CIA Director Mike Pompeo as Tillerson's successor, because "we're always on the same wavelength." He may say that he wants disparate views to consider, but his actions suggest he only wants advice from those who agree with him. Recommended, 5 places World War III could start in 2018. Recommended, how North Korea could start a war. Tillerson's task was daunting from the start. He had no previous diplomatic or government experience, and was accustomed to managing a huge international corporation. And he worked for a president who disdains traditional diplomacy and international agreements, and makes it clear he wants to make all major decisions himself. The abrupt and unceremonious firing of Tillerson, similar to that of former FBI Director James Comey, comes at a time of upheaval in the White House amid Cohen's resignation, the Mueller investigation growing closer to the White House, and the ongoing Stormy Daniels uproar. Friends and allies are trying to discern the administration's patterns and policy. But in the meantime, they are protecting their interests by organizing new international trade agreements without the United States, and contemplating retaliatory steps over tariffs on steel and aluminum. Relations with Russia are at a very dangerous point, over interference in U.S. elections, Syria, and now the nerve gas attack in England, which Tillerson squarely blamed on the Russians. Allies are now worried the United States will forsake the Iran agreement, and are both encouraged and worried over the prospect of Trump negotiating directly with the North Korean leader. Reason would dictate that, faced with all these dangers and complexities, Trump would opt for stability within his administration. That he has chosen to let go of the globalists and bring in Pompeo as Secretary of State underscores that Trump wants to surround himself with like-minded individuals in dealing with Iran, North Korea, and other foreign policy challenges. Pompeo seems to enjoy the trust of the president, unlike Tillerson, and shares his hawkish views on Iran and North Korea. But it is one thing to provide intelligence judgments to the president, and another to help make critical foreign policy judgments and then implement them. Will he be able to change the president's mind, or at least influence him? Will he act as a wise head and disagree at times, as Defense Secretary James Mattis has done, or simply turn into another cabinet-level cheerleader? The Senate should explore these questions carefully as it considers Pompeo's nomination. Jeffrey H. Smith, a Washington attorney, previously served as the general counsel of the CIA and as an assistant legal advisor at the State Department. Kenneth Yalowitz is the director of the MA Conflict Resolution Program at Georgetown University and a global fellow at the Woodrow Wilson Center, and was U.S. ambassador to Belarus and Georgia. Read full article.